Good Tuesday afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us on KARE 11 News Now. I'm Morgan Wolf. New today, disorderly conduct charges for a woman seen on video saying a racial slur repeatedly at a child at a park in Rochester. This incident happened in April of this year, and it garnered national attention online. The woman in the video claims that a little boy took something from her child at a park, and that's when she called him the slur. The city of Rochester says that the charges need to be approved by a judge. New this afternoon, Minneapolis community leaders are speaking out against homeless encampment policies in the city. All of this comes as the city council weighs on suing a landlord in the city for allowing a homeless encampment on his South Minneapolis property. Today, city workers cleaned around the encampment near East Lake and 28th Avenue South after issuing 2 public health warnings to the property owner. They were not allowed to go inside. These pictures are from Hennepin County Health leaders. They say this is why the encampment needs to be cleaned up, as there is trash everywhere, including needles and other sharp objects, and no access to clean water. They also say that the Minneapolis Homeless Response Team has been on the site almost daily since the encampment formed. Community leadership says that the encampment policies in the city are hurting, not helping the homeless. City Council will be discussing a possible lawsuit during a special meeting called by Mayor Frey tomorrow, and we will have team coverage on this story today, so make sure you tune in to KARE 11 News at 4, 5, and 6 for the latest. Right now, polls are open in Minneapolis to fill 2 open. Sorry, it's Minnesota. Let me go again. 3, 2, 1. Right now, polls are open in Minnesota to fill 2 open state Senate seats. In Woodbury, Senate District 47 will decide the DFL nominee. Nicole Mitchell held the seat until she resigned about a month ago. She was convicted of 2 counts of felony burglary. On the ballot this morning are 2 current state representatives. The winner will face the only Republican candidate in that race. Right now, the Senate is split up between 33 Democrats and 32 Republicans. So if the DFL loses, the power of the Senate will return to the hands of the GOP. The Woodbury seat, however, has remained reliably Democratic for over a decade. There is another special primary in Senate District 29, which comes after Senator Bruce Anderson suddenly died. Winners from today will move on to the special elections on November 4th. You have until 8 p.m. today to cast your ballot. Also new today, 6 drones now sit on top of 4 city fire stations across Minnetonka. They're able to be launched to investigate areas in seconds before human first responders can arrive. Police say that dramatically cuts down their response time and also increases safety for their officers, who now might have more information ahead of the arrival to the scene. Our Ian Russell has the story.
Opening.
Drones as first responders makes Minnetonka safer.
High above these skies,
In many ways, the DFR program in Minnetonka is a no-brainer.
the future of policing is now up and running.
Drones can often arrive at scene within minutes, sometimes even before officers, firefighters, or paramedics.
Minnetonka officially unveiled their Drone as First Responder program, one of the earliest adopters in the state to do so.
This is just the City of Minnetonka program.
Months in the making, Deputy Chief Jason Tate says it's more than just a police tool.
It can support law enforcement, but has applications for the fire department, for our public works department, community development, and our city communications.
How it works is simple.
Go through a little scenario here.
Minnetonka showed us with the demonstration.
The scenario is that an individual is called 911. They're along Minnehaha Creek, have lacerated their leg. Drone is live.
These drones can take off and fly to a scene on their own with just the push of a button.
You found her yet? Switch to thermal.
Equipped with thermal cameras, they find the person in the brush quickly.
And I just saw, as you guys probably did, a heat signature there.
Copy.
First responders able to quickly find that person, made faster because of that eye in the sky. A demonstration of what this can do that other departments were on hand to see Monday morning.
So all those calls we are currently working, and we're looking forward to a lot more since we now have this 6 dock capacity total online as of Thursday.
Fire copy.
A first look at the future in Minnetonka, and one the city says it sure will work well.
We're confident that it's working the way that we want it to, that it's a safe program, and that we can operate it efficiently.
In an unprecedented move, President Trump says that he is firing Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. This follows allegations that Cook committed mortgage fraud. The only reason that Federal Reserve governors can be removed is for cause or some kind of wrongdoing. But so far, she has not been charged with any crime, and her removal could lead to a court battle. This is all happening as Trump is pressuring board members to cut interest rates. Reporter Amy Kiley tells us more.
When executives start to try and meddle with central bank independence, that comes at real cost.
Experts say President Donald Trump's unprecedented attempt to fire a Federal Reserve governor could affect average Americans. Lisa Cook's termination is likely to end up in court. Trump can only fire a Fed board member for cause, and Cook faces no legal charges. In a letter, he claims she, quote, may have made false statements on one or more mortgage agreements.
She and Jay Powell are holding the economy hostage by not cutting rates.
If Cook's seat becomes vacant, Trump can nominate her replacement. He's pressuring board members to cut interest rates beyond what they think is good for the economy. If he succeeds, the Fed would have less control over inflation.
If you have a job, if you have money saved, if you have children, any kind of commitment to this country doing well in the future, this should be of concern.
Investors do seem concerned based on overnight drops in stock futures and the U.S. dollar index. Those reflect retirement accounts and spending power. Beyond economics, analysts also see impacts from Trump's broader campaign to punish perceived enemies.
There's going to be many other people that he's going after as well, but I love it.
Critics say they're worried about how far he'll go.
What is the threat now to the average American?
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Police have arrested a man after he burned an American flag in front of the White House. This came just hours after President Trump signed the order seeking to crack down on flag burning. Joe Kerry said to authorities that he is a 20-year combat veteran and burning the flag was a protest against President Trump. Park police say that they arrested the man because it is illegal to light a fire on the National Park Service land. In 1989, the Supreme Court ruled that burning an American flag is constitutional under the First Amendment, but the new executive order authorizes the Attorney General to prosecute people who light an American flag on fire while engaging in other criminal activities or when inciting violence.
And you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail. You don't get 10 years, you don't get 1 month. You get 1 year in jail, and it goes on your record. And you will see flag burning stopping immediately.
Well, an apocalyptic scene in Arizona as miles-long dust clouds rolling over the state, engulfing parts of Phoenix and Arizona City late Monday afternoon. Just check that out there. The dust storm, also known as a haboob, caused power outages and ground stops, with thousands of customers still without power as of this morning. Gabriela Barshara tells us more.
Well, it's incredible. Incredible.
A big wall of dust engulfed Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport Monday afternoon.
We've been waiting for like 4 or 5 years for one of these to happen again.
Temporarily halting operations and interrupting flight schedules. A ground stop was ordered shortly before the dust rolled over the tarmac, stalling planes on the runway and sending crews for shelter. The orange haze hugged the airport, significantly diminishing visibility as wind gusts moving up to 70 miles per hour blew the dust from south to north and east to west.
Obviously, it is completely dark, almost like midnight now.
Then came the downpour. Heavy rain followed the dust and strong winds forced it down in every direction.
Great flight, some lightning, and everything was wonderful.
During it all, planes headed for Phoenix were diverted to neighboring states, including California, Nevada, and Texas.
He was ready to land, and then he said, wait, we're being diverted back to Vegas.
The ground stop was lifted just before 6:30, but both arrivals and departures faced significant delays.
I've been waiting about 4 hours.
As thunderstorms moved across the state.
Her flight has been delayed by about 3 hours, I guess. I don't even know if she's actually left Vegas yet.
But passengers and loved ones still waiting are just thankful everyone's getting where they're going safely.
I was praying all the way up here. I'm just like, oh gosh, just give them safe travel. It's worth the wait, I guess, safety first.
Well, if you're going to be catching a plane anytime soon, listen up, because there are new rules in place that you might want to know about. The TSA is expanding its list of things that you can't put in a checked bag. The agency will no longer allow people to check cordless gas or butane-powered curling or flat iron, saying that they pose a fire risk on board. And they say that you can still fly with these items as long as it has a safety cover, but it can't bring any gas or gas refills. We are learning today that the U.S. Coast Guard unloaded a record haul of drugs at Port Everglades in Florida. More than 14,000 pounds of marijuana and 61,000 pounds of cocaine were seized from the boats in the Pacific and Caribbean seas. Narcotics reportedly worth around $473 million came from 19 different interceptions with drug-carrying vessels. The Coast Guard says that this amount of cocaine is enough for 23 million potentially lethal overdoses.
That's enough to fatally overdose the entire population of the state of Florida.
Today, the Powerball jackpot is expected to jump to $815 million after no one won a ticket on Monday. So this would make it the 7th largest jackpot in the lottery's history. The sum might go even higher, though, they say, as more people buy lottery tickets before Wednesday's drawing. No one has hit the jackpot since May 31st, but tomorrow might be a lucky day for one or more. Stick with us. We got more news and weather coming up after the break.